The wildest thing in retrospect, that he was sitting there, he did it highly questionable with me and Dan, and I was like, wow, this young man seems really mature.
He did have a presence about him.
Except then the problem supposedly was a lack of maturity, you know, the one thing and the mistake that he wound up making.
Yeah.
He is built for this. The question has been, how good of a player is he? And honestly, he's better than he was in LA, not terribly better, he's just getting more shots. But these kind of shots, he wants them. Like what you can do to win a game, he's a guy that goes out there and wants to be the one to do it.
Did you realize he leads the league in jumpers made this year? And he just set a franchise record for three-pointers. He's having a fantastic season, all-star season as we know. But last night is that kind of moment that where you go from all-star to star. And out of respect for what this young man is doing, there's potential for what he can be. When we start talking about stars coming to New York, I know the Nets aren't the Knicks, but put some respect on this young man's name and his game. There's a star already in New York. He just doesn't play for the Knicks.
He's star-ish, man. He's star-ish. I tell you this.
That was a star turn last night.
Yeah, I get you, but let me ask you this. If he was the number 2 pick in the draft and he was putting up the numbers that he's putting up right now, and he was in L.A. on this Lakers team as it stands, right?
Oh, my God.
They weren't.
What would so much, a lot. We've been talking about him a lot.
I don't know. Because, I mean, look, the Nets are a below 500 team, right? Like, they're still down there skating around at that level.
Right.
If he was doing that on the team that drafted him, I'm not sure we'd be as excited about it if he was still there as we are about this year. The Nets have quietly been a great story because they didn't have all those picks and still found a way to build up the team. And they got him because the Lakers just had to get him out of there.
Well, I was about to ask you about that. If you're the Lakers, and a matter of fact, conveniently, they play each other Friday in L.A., I believe. If you're the Lakers, do you regret this trade in hindsight?
Let me ask you this, man. If you're the Lakers and D'Angelo Russell walk in with his phone out here like this, is anybody glad he gone? Anybody mad he gone? Because this was not about basketball.
But who are we talking about? We talking about Nick Young that ain't in the league right now.
I'm talking about whoever was there. We know him not being there is not about basketball, right? There were the leadership questions and just generally, how do cats get along with him? I think what happened was he got to a new place and he grew up, and it wound up being one of those things that for you to get to where you need to be, you need to go do that over there.
That may be the case, and that's how it played out. But if you're the Lakers and you take him number 2 overall and you give up on him after 2 years at 20 years old, then he can't become this because this makes you look bad. It is on them to unlock this when you take him at the number 2 pick. Now, granted, with 27, they got Kuzma, who's a good player, but not an all-star. He's not as good as D'Angelo Russell. And the worst part about the transaction, quite honestly, is that they let Brook Lopez go, who's now turned into this 3-point shooter for Milwaukee.
The issue is perhaps they did not get enough back for him, but it also appears that when they were like, hey, we got to get this dude out of here, the line to get him wasn't very long. Again, I think if he's still in L.A., he's under a different level of scrutiny, and we say he's playing well, but we're not talking about him the way we're talking about him right now. All right, next name is Odell Beckham. The Browns receiver posted and then deleted a cryptic message on Instagram yesterday. Let's take a look at what this young boy had to say.
This young boy.
Yeah, I'm taking an emotional, mental, physical, blah, blah, blah vacation for the next couple of days. I'm going dark. I really need some time to vibe and just get away, process, reevaluate some things in my life. As much has changed for me recently.
Well, let me go. Let's start. You start here. You start here. I can tell by your tone you don't think this is necessary.
I want to know your reaction first. I need to calm down before I get to this.
Okay, well, look, my reaction was I hope you're okay. Personally, because whatever he needs a break from has got to be personal, because professionally, he just hit the lottery. He just got promoted. Like, I get it's a shot to your ego when you didn't request a trade to be traded. But just last season, he's sitting there across from Josina next to Lil Wayne saying, I don't know if I'm happy when I just got broken off with this huge contract in New York. So clearly, you knew that you were being held back by Eli Manning in your circumstances. So it did him a favor professionally. Maybe personally, he got some things to work out. But not to steal your thunder, I'm guessing that just do it. Don't tell us you're taking a break. Just take the break.
New dudes, man.
Yeah.
Like new dudes. I mean, I understand I'm not a member of this generation. I can't do this. New dudes. The whole point of putting something up there like that, and because we took out the sentence.
I thought you were going to calm down.
Yeah. No. We took out the sentence where he's like, please don't call or FaceTime me because I don't have the phone. That's exactly what you want people to do. You want people to hit you back with the heart. You want people to hit you back with hugs and all of this stuff. Otherwise, you just take the break. All you got to do is just take the break. He ain't nothing wrong with him. He cool. You know what the worst thing might have been that happened to him? He got on Zillow and got to looking at what was out there in Cleveland, and he was like, damn, that's the best view I can get, right? Like it finally dawned on him that part of what the level of it is. Otherwise, man, ain't nothing wrong with you.
But he said a lot's happened lately in my life. Presumably, we're talking about the trade. What you got to be upset about, other than going to Cleveland from New York, about the trade? This is the best thing ever happened in your career. Clearly, they didn't want you there. And to be fair, this is part of the reason why they didn't want him. He's courting drama.
That's what, hey, look, he said, look, they got his homeboy on the team. You got Baker Mayfield, all this stuff. I don't know.
Coach.
And again, I'd like to say, I wish you the best,
yes,
right?
Yes.
I root for Odell, if for no other reason than I find it comical how much his presence and talent threatens people, right? Good for you, Odell. Make it happen. At the same time, miss me, dog.
Right.
Miss me.
And then why you deleting it? So it's like you're kind of getting more bang for your buck, I guess, right?
Miss me.
All right. We're going to the next name. Let's do it. The NCAA probably wishes it deleted the commercial that it put out on Twitter yesterday, highlighting a day in the life of a student athlete. In case you missed it, take a look. Well, you notice he even hit the snooze button? That's the first thing. I mean, he just popped right up. He's dancing all happy and whatnot. He got too much energy. Look. He ain't sleepy. He ain't frustrated. He ain't in pain.
Where the party at?
Yeah, that's the most important thing. Well, at least they were honest and they ain't got time for that. Look, this got roasted, got drugged on social media by current and former student athletes alike. What was your reaction to it?
So, you know, there's this thing, right, with the FBI that came around, and I'm assuming that's the motivating factor for this awful ad, because we've been watching for a while, and, you know, they sell the propaganda, but it ain't never looked more transparent, or like than there. They're like, what in the world is it that you are doing here? So my thought on this is obviously not the experience of the student athlete, but what they're doing is they are selling this to people who don't care what the actual, like, experience of the student athlete is. They are selling this to people who want to watch this, who are like, yeah, that's what this is, and on that, it's a little sad.
So you say they're playing to the base.
Yes.
But, okay, we're going to talk about politics, then the base is already dug in on this. To me, why wouldn't you be smart about it, but I guess we're talking about the NCAA, why wouldn't you be smart about it and try to curry the favor of the student athletes that you continue to exploit? In other words, did they consult any student athletes on a production of this? Have it starring a student athlete? Because nothing to me sells better than authenticity. If you want to resonate, keep it all the way real and at least show them, like the athletes talked about on Twitter, show them being tired, show them having to go to tutoring sessions, show them in, struggling through workouts and meetings and this, that, and the other. Actually celebrate, if not acknowledge, the plight of the student athlete and say, hey, thanks for making this whole operation possible, even though we're not compensating you accordingly.
Right, you're 100% correct. That would be noble. That would be fantastic. And that
Too much
would,
to ask.
but that would work for people like me and you. And I think that it can be very easy to forget something like the idea of paying players, for example. The majority remains opposed to this idea, right? So what they put out there is what most people want, right? That is the ethos that surrounds all their sales pitch of college athletics. And so they're not like, that was not, hey, let's give a little pound to the cats that's working so hard. Right. That was, see, everything's okay over here.
I'm just saying, like, for me, if I'm putting out that kind of marketing ploy, I would like to get some kind of positive response, because this is people like us are obviously turning this into a negative, which it is in reality, because if the people that you're playing to, they're not changing their mind regardless. Like, they're already looking at college athletics a certain way. To me, why not at least get the approval, if you care about these kind of things, from the people that you're actually exploiting? Because in 2019, you're not letting your propaganda go unchecked.
Yeah, but if they start getting approval from players for stuff, none of this would ever happen.
True.
Coming up next, Le'Veon versus Big Ben. Oh, yeah.
O to the M to the G. High Noon is brought to you by the new 2019 Lincoln Nautilus.
Let's have one more.
Two.
Make that two more plan.
Sweetie?
Let us help with your plan.
We can do that.
Sounds like a plan.
Start a plan that flexes with yours. New York Life.
You know when to speak up, when to listen up, and when to dress up. Good on you. Now at Men's Warehouse, take 60% off select suits, plus it's buy one, get one free on select items.
You're gonna like the way you look.
Crab trying to suppress that evidence.
I would too if I were. That's like a smart call. What's the worst they can do? Deny it? Deny the emotion? Why not? You know, I ain't no lawyer, but that seems like a logical move to me, you know? All right, today's number is 30,000. That's how many rubles were at stake, which amounts to about $450. During this competition at the Siberian Power Show last weekend in Russia. Let's take a look at the winner of the competition.
Wait, did you say $450?
$450. It's Vasily Kamatsky. Okay, wait a minute. Hold on.
Hold on, which? Oh.
Wait a minute. So you ever seen Over the Top of Sylvester Stallone?
Yes.
Like, they're not in the same class. Like,
no, I was actually about to say, as my brother has said to me many times, it's weight classes for a reason.
Yes.
And
of course he won. So do you just tap out of the slap fight?
Yo!
Oh!
For $450?
Yeah, where's Lincoln Hawk right here, man? We need somebody to stand up to this.
Okay, that's a pretty good shot right there.
That was with authority.
Whoa!
Wait, you see the moisture fly out his head? You got a concussion.
Can you imagine being knocked unconscious by an open hand slap?
No, I can't imagine it because slap fighting and play fighting, both those terms to me are oxymorons. I don't play fight. I'm either fighting you or I'm not.
Hold on. Wait for it. Yo, hold on though. You shouldn't be allowed to measure up. Like you get one time to raise your arm on this slap. You don't get to, nah.
Bruh, he slapped his head clean off his neck.
This is the first dude.
He actually took it like a champ.
I got to give him some credit. I bet he was very proud of himself after.
But wait, he's not even getting his money's worth. Did you see the one he slapped it? Watch how soft this is. Well, we already passed it. He hit him real soft, like you got to like wait.
Yo, this dude, I don't know what the hell he's talking about. Yo. Yo,
for $450, huh?
Yo, like,
this looked like somebody athletic director just decided I'm up.
Oh yeah, like right there.
That's it. That's it. You got to tap out on that.
His name is Vladimir Sakatators.
Wait, here.
As he went down like a Sakatators.
Watch his neck. Watch his neck. Specifically his neck. No, not that. Okay. See, here you go. Right. Wait for it.
Yo!
Bruh! He need a chiropractor.
And so after this has happened, like, what do your friends think of this?
You don't have friends because real friends don't let you compete in that kind of slap
honestly,
fight.
if you get to do somebody like that in the competition, you know what else you get? $450 and that dude's woman. You are now the man of his house. In closing, many of you know I'm afraid of the future. In case you don't quite know why, I bring you this. India's first sworn robot police officer.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. That's 5-0 right there.
One time. Okay. Nice design. Looks like a soldier or something.
Yeah. So apparently that's what's going to be on these streets in India.
Is there some artificial intelligence involved where you get a chance to maybe negotiate?
Artificial intelligence. Like that's what really scares me about this bad boy. Like, who is this police officer modeled after? Becomes the question. Like, this is a robot replication of what?
Yeah, exactly. No, yeah. No, I'm not quite ready for that.
You're not here for that?
I'm not ready for that.
Yeah, like I need to know, is this robot programmed to know I might still have my hand in the glove box as I reach for my registration? Like, that's where the algorithm gets to be really important.
I mean, is this let's just call it like it is. Is it programmed to profile?
Yes. What is the if-then on this robot for pulling out that thing?
There's a whole lot of plausible deniability. We on the same page here, okay? Because check this out. In closing, since we're talking about fears and when it comes to this subject, I'm afraid of getting pulled over by the actual police.
Same.
Let alone being surrounded by the boys in blue.
Same.
And if that ever happens, I think I speak for both of us when we say we're not moving, let alone dancing. Like this cat in L.A.
What?
Like, watch this guy. This guy's going to dance, and notice that you see no shots being fired. Now, I don't think there's a command involved.
Hold on. Can we zoom in a little bit on who this is?
Well, I think you can tell.
What neighborhood?
I think you can tell who he's not.
Yeah, what neighborhood that in? What neighborhood he's from?
I mean, are commands being obeyed here? Clearly, he's not a threat, right? Because
okay, there we go. There's more information.
Yeah, there you go. If it were a threat, we know how this would have probably played out.
I have long said that the greatest demonstration of white privilege is seen on the dance floor. Right? Beat? What beat? I decide what the beat is. Right? Like, what's the fresh dance?
Right.
I decide what that is.
Wait,
I don't care what the rest of y'all doing.
Is that him putting his hands behind his back?
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Like, this is taking it to a whole nother level.